What's going on, guys? So I've been thinking about making this kind of video mainly for the skeptics and people who are worried about GTA 6 not living up to the hype. I know this may not convince some of you, but perhaps it can give you all some perspective on what really is at stake with a game release as huge as this. If you guys love GTA and video games in general, please consider liking and subscribing. Today, we're going to dive deep into everything that has me convinced as to why GTA 6 will absolutely not fail. Let's begin with something simple. This game is estimated to have cost around $2 billion. Now, I already know what a lot of you are thinking. Firstly, I'm sure we've all already heard of this, and what you might be saying is the amount of money that's spent on the game doesn't guarantee it'll be a masterpiece. Just look at the countless examples like Anthem or Marvel Avengers. They showed tons of promise and also had hundreds of millions go into them just to end up a failure. Even with that, we still have to truly take a step back and really understand that no game has ever even come close to the $2 billion budget. The only game that did come close was Star Citizen, which now is accumulating over $900 million over the course of 13 years of ongoing development and sales. That's still less than half of what GTA 6's budget is, and that's over a long period of time. While with GTA 6, it's all going into the base game from the very beginning of development. GTA 6 will probably be the most expensive video game we'll ever play in our lifetime, if we're being very honest with ourselves. Now, like I said, budget doesn't immediately equal a masterpiece. But how about we try and understand why the budget is so high in the first place? As most of you watching this video know, GTA is the most popular gaming franchise in the entire industry, with GTA 5 selling more copies and generating more money than any other book, movie, TV show, or video game. That is a profound reputation to keep up with. But when you think about it, it wasn't luck or magic that memorialized GTA like this. It was Rockstar's commitment to excellence and quality design that created this legend of a franchise. There's a blueprint and formula to these games. While there's no actual magic involved in making these games, there is a lot of magic in them. There's very few games that do what the Grand Theft Auto series does, which is actually pretty surprising in a world flooded with open world games. It seems like we're drowning in them, and yet none of them truly capture the quality and immersion that Rockstar Games have. With worlds like Red Dead Redemption, GTA, and Bully, each of their games seems to have a soul, for lack of a better term, capturing people from all walks of life and continue to be timeless masterpieces. Games like Red Dead 1 or GTA 4 still hold up extremely well 15 years later. Hell, they still outperform many games that come out today. The point that I'm trying to make here is that all Rockstar titles are special. Look at Red Dead Redemption 2. This isn't even a video on that game, but I know just talking about that game invokes a special feeling in a lot of you watching, just because how incredibly impactful that game was. Everything from the world, the detail, the characters, and the story. And mind you, that game came out 8 years ago from the time of this recording, and will probably go down in history as one of the best games ever made, according to many of you. I think Red Dead 2 was Rockstar letting us know that they haven't forgotten what makes their games special, and that they will never settle for anything less than perfection when it comes to their single-player stories. I also think it's important to mention that GTA 6 is taking a lot from Red Dead 2, at least in regards to world building, and has officially confirmed that Red Dead and GTA exist in the same exact universe. This is huge because I feel like that gives me a good amount of hope that GTA 6 will carry itself more seriously and deliver perhaps a more emotional and deep story this time around, but we'll have to wait and see. I also want to touch upon a lot of the leaks and patents that people have already spoken to death about, but I want to dive back in for a quick second just to remind everyone what kind of new technology Rockstar is going to be using. Without going into specifics, I'll just cover some cool aspects regarding what these patents mean for the game, starting with the NPCs. I'm not exaggerating when I say that we will, without a shadow of a doubt, have the most realistic NPCs we have ever seen in a video game. The patents basically explain how every NPC will pretty much be a real person. Everything from realistic reactions and actual personalities which means each person will have a different reaction to what the player does, and also have extremely realistic movement based on their age, body type, and mental state. Guys, this is insane. We have never, and I mean never, seen detail like this on NPCs, and we also have to consider the social media aspect of the game, where you will now get recorded by these NPCs doing various activities and crimes. Plus, I'm also sure we'll see them doing the same things. You can also bet that the antagonize and greet options are returning from Red Dead 2, so the possibilities will literally be endless regarding NPC interactions. Now, regarding the actual animations, this time we'll have truly dynamic movement in the game, meaning nothing will be scripted. You'll be able to see how things like weather, your body weight, and your health, or what kind of terrain you're on, will literally affect the way your character moves. Meaning we won't see the same animations over and over again like how we're used to in games. It'll feel like everyone, including your character, are actually real living people. We'll see variation of the same animations play out differently when you're reloading your gun, robbing a vehicle, or even just running down the street. I know we're all used to Rockstar going hard as hell with attention to detail, but this game will truly take it to another level entirely than we've ever seen in a video game before. That's not even getting into the new fluid animation system, where blood, sweat, and water will all be totally dynamic, meaning that you'll see all of these liquids existing on their own in-game, which pretty much means you'll see blood dripping off of you if you've been shot or killed someone. You'll see sweat accumulate if you're hot, and mud and dirt will also stay on you just like in Red Dead 2, except with twice the detail. Now let's say for a second, hypothetically, that the story may not be to some of your liking. And I get it. Not every single Rockstar story is a 10 out of 10, and a lot of them are preference based. But the attention to detail and the world building will still be the best we will ever see. I think people will get absolutely lost in the world the moment they step foot into it. Hell, you could also get sunburned in the game, so I think the immersion will reach levels no one will even expect. Speaking of not enjoying the story, going off that hypothetical, some of you may or may not be happy to hear this, but this is the first Grand Theft Auto game that will prioritize the online aspect of. Now, hold on with me for a second, because there's some things I want to lay out that are very important to understand. You may be thinking, wasn't GTA 5 prioritizing online, considering how they milked that shit for over 13 years? And you might actually be surprised to hear this, but no, actually. GTA 5 Online wasn't supposed to be that big, or last that long. It was an accident and Rockstar didn't anticipate it. This might come as a shock to some of you, but GTA 5 Online was supposed to be an afterthought mode where friends can goof around together and have fun for a little. It was never intended to be what it became. This is why we never got single-player DLC. That was already planned and in the game files for GTA 5, but instead, Rockstar chose to cancel it and instead import a lot of the assets to online. This was mainly because online blew up way harder than anyone at Rockstar ever intended. If you want a good idea of how the online was supposed to go, look no further than Red Dead Online. I know a lot of people are still bitter over how Rockstar abandoned it, myself included, but that's the same fate GTA 5 Online was supposed to have. Because Rockstar's formula was always to create single-player masterpieces with an online component that they would support for about 3 years and then move on to their next game. That all changed with 5 because that game's online made an astronomical amount of money that Rockstar felt they had no choice but to continue milking. I know that people have mixed feelings about this, but it's simply how business works. If you made a product and it accidentally started selling 10 times better than you thought it would, most people would double down and continue selling that product while putting other plans they might have had on the shelf for a little while. Anyways, the whole point of explaining all that is so we can truly understand what Rockstar is cooking for GTA 6. This is the first GTA game that is being fully built as an online experience. Here's why that's important though. The reason a lot of people feel sick of GTA 5 Online is because it was never meant to go on for so long. All of the assets in that game are super outdated, and Rockstar is essentially using technology from the Xbox 360 and PS3 era to keep creating content for that game. With GTA 6, Rockstar are creating ways that will keep the online feeling fresh and innovative for 10 years plus. This means we'll be getting content that won't just be reskins of the same businesses 50 times over, but instead new systems and totally unique concepts that will still feel fresh years after the game comes out. This isn't even getting into the UGC side of things, which is basically Rockstar handing us the power to create endless mods and maps on console, which is basically saying that there will be endless free content for GTA 6 for over 10 years, with players making their own ideas within that GTA engine. So think of things like zombie survival maps, Red Dead 3 created by players, or maybe a sci-fi map with aliens attacking. The possibilities for online content with GTA 6 won't only feel fresh, but it will be an endless world with infinite possibilities only limited to your imagination. So if anyone here is still not convinced that the online portion will be worth it, I truly don't know what to say. As someone who does enjoy playing games with my friends, I honestly can't wait to see how this is all gonna unfold. Now, I'm sure there's still some of you saying that the expectations are still way too high. There's no way that they could meet everyone's expectations. To you, I say this: Rockstar knows. They know what's at stake. They know that this is essentially the most anticipated game in human history. They know that people are expecting the best game they have ever played. We're talking about arguably one of the best game studios that have ever done it, with pretty much infinite money to make the best game they've ever made. Guys, this is why we keep seeing these delays, because Rockstar knows this is it. This is their big one. I have no doubt in my mind that this game will not only meet most people's expectations, but it honestly might exceed them. I think people will be truly blown away when they get their hands on this creation that Rockstar is cooking up. I think GTA 6 will be the game that keeps on giving and will be what most people talk about for over a decade after it releases. It will most likely be the best game people will ever play in their entire lives. And we'll watch other studios scramble around poorly trying to imitate what Rockstar has done. I've said this many times and I'll say it again. Games from Rockstar feel like they're from the future, truly ahead of their time. And I feel that with 6, it'll feel like we're playing a game from 2040, and every other game will feel like an outdated and cheap money grab. With all that being said, I really want to hear from you now. Do you agree with my take? Or do you think there's any chance that it might underdeliver? Let me know in the comments below. I love interacting with you guys and hearing what everyone is thinking regarding this behemoth of a game. Oh, and I also stream every night around 12 a.m. Eastern time, so if you guys want to hang out and talk to me, I'd love to have you. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.